Welcome to Level Up with CMJ. Hey, my name is Joe, and this is my Craps Master Dice Shooting Journey. Let's make it ours. That was Corey's suggestion. Hey, guys, this is day number 3 of our Juliet recap. And just want to go over a quick recap for myself. If anybody else wants to share, throughout the broadcast here, what their recap of yesterday was, feel free. Yesterday, I actually was in for 921. I was out for 1735, so I had a profit of $814 yesterday, and that brings my trip total as of this morning before I started back again at a positive $17 for the trip. So I'm actually in the positive, guys. I dug it out. What brought me back in the positive is the guy in the green shirt over here. We did a partnership. Teal. I'm sorry, but we did a partnership and we actually cashed out last night at $1,900 on one of our shooters, and the shooter that actually brought us up to that level was Giuseppe.
Yeah.
He did phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then Corey had a nice roll in his high 20s yesterday. Giuseppe was in the mid 40s yesterday. It's just a phenomenal day. We had a tough first couple days. And yesterday was definitely a comeback day. And tomorrow, if I do go live tomorrow, we'll have a trip report tomorrow as well. And we had a rough start to start today, just so everybody knows. But hopefully that turns around as we go through. Well, let me introduce everybody here. You guys all know Arnell from Dice Grinders. He was my day one interviewee. We have Texas Crap Shooters, Alfredo Leon, everyone. We have Corey Sith Lord SB.
Yep.
And we have Turtles Midnight Craps. And this would be Kevin from way up north.
Hey guys.
And that's me.
Hey, no Canadian joke.
So, guys, if you're there, we got some chats going on here. But hey, let's talk about what's going on here. We already talked to Arnell the other day. Alfredo, you're obviously from Texas. Tell us a little bit about yourself and that. For those of you who do not know who Alfredo is.
Yeah, Texas Crap Shooters, Alfredo here. Man, we came in and it was tough the first morning.
Brutal.
The first session was positive like 150, right? And then I gave back almost all of it, went to blackjack, made a little bit back, then came back to the table, gave back, and then added on and gave back. And that's how it goes sometimes when you play craps and when you don't listen to yourself about not gambling on the first day of a trip. And we were able to, luckily, because of Corey here, make back a good portion of it. The next morning, everyone was shooting like dog shit, and we kept passing it back to him, and he had 3 big rolls in a row, and brought everyone back. I felt almost bad for him. I'm like, your arm has to be tired, right? He's like, oh, don't worry about my stamina, right? And we went to have a break. We came back. Some came back to the hotel, right? Others stood over at Hollywood. I ended up hitting an all,
Yep.
right? And then it got us even more back. And then we came back to the hotel to again, thinking we were going to come over here and play, and it was super packed, and we ate again. Then we went back to Hollywood.
That's right.
And then Giuseppe went off for like a freaking tirade of
Sixes
and eights. That's where we made the $1,900 additionally. It's been a really good run. This morning, Kevin.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
We'll cover some of that. We'll cover some of that tomorrow.
We'll let you share what you did. I went to eat, came in, hit another all 2 days in a row, and that was really nice. We'll save the other stuff that happened over at Hollywood for probably another time, unless you want to get into it later. But there's ups and downs within the trip. I think I was down as far as like 650, now up, I don't know, 2,800 or something like that to the place.
Good. Before I introduce the next guest here, I want to say hi to people in the chat. We have Alfredo from Texas Crap Shooters. He's saying hi in the chat already. We have Ron from California Craps Club, Blacklight, and we have SJ, IPA Noah, and that's everybody so far. But our next guest here is Corey. He's Sith Lord SB, for those of you who don't know. He's the king supposedly the king of the Friday night fights. So
One of them. I
one of them.
I have
You
like
share the title, don't you?
identical stats with Craig. So
Okay.
Craig and I are sharing that title. But yeah, that experience has been fun. It's gotten an opportunity for me to get out into the community and people to recognize me when we go to these meetups now. So getting to meet a lot of people. First time with Alfredo. Arnell's part of our regular group on Saturday when we come down here. So this is our home casino. Been a lot of fun. Yeah, up and down. I got here and the first night, not only did I show poorly, but everybody. I think we had 7 PSOs in a row, and just an absolutely brutal first night. And then the next day, again, I started off soft with a pretty decent roll. Then the ATS, and then Giuseppe's great roll. That's where we all really went from down to up
Yeah.
on the trip.
So I'm a little confused here. We're all supposed to be good dice shooters, right? You're saying you can't control the dice or make the dice do what you want to do?
No.
What?
That's a conversation for another day.
Well, let's talk to John a little bit about the fact that you hit a couple legs of the ATS.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So in my good run, I hit a small, missing the 12, and then 2 rolls later, I hit the tall, missing the 2, and in there, I was absolutely destroying the 5. Just
You must have hit that at least 9 times.
I was
in that
killing the
roll.
5.
Started hopping it and
Yeah.
getting a hit on it. Like every other time we hopped it, it was ridiculous.
Giuseppe's roll last night. Alfredo and I did the partnership, and we bought it for $300 a piece. By the end of Giuseppe's roll, we had over $300 on both the 6 and the 8 last night, and we still brought home $1,900 off of that roll.
Yeah.
But it was amazing.
I have never been up to. I think I had $700 on the 6 and hit it, and came down to 500 and hit it again. And I just said I'm not going above 500 anymore, and hit the 5, the 6, and the 8. It was just 3 rolls in a row. I hit it at 700, 500, and 500. I mean, it just and that takes a brutal run. And by the way, I started that roll by regressing to 96 across. And one of the great things was looking over. The point was set at 5. I had a $15 bet on the 5 because it never got hit again, and a $700 bet on the 6. So again, press what's hitting. He'll tell you, press what's hitting, because when the shooter's in a groove and hitting a number, if you're pressing if I was pressing the 5 and taking money away from the 6, never would have made that kind of money. So it was definitely the way to do it.
What did you tell Joe? You pointed
so-
at the bet on the table. What did you?
So at some point I looked over, I'm like, Joe, you bought in for 300. You have your buy-in on the 6 right now. And his rack was stuffed with greens. So I mean,
What was my response?
so
Blank.
yeah, I was like, so
Blank. Anyway, our last guest here is Kevin. He's TurtlesMidnightCraps.
Yes.
Who are you, man? Not many people have seen you because you've been absent from the scene for a little while. You told me.
Well, no, I'm regular in the scene. I participate on LFC with Arnell.
You do.
Been part of the group for better part of 5 years now. I think this is probably my 6th or 7th meetup.
Awesome.
So I don't do a lot as far as my channel is concerned. I have the channel for participation with Arnell, but it's not something that I'm really pushing. So I just enjoy the camaraderie and the meetups. So drove here on Tuesday, got up early morning, left Toronto around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, got here early Tuesday afternoon. We played a couple sessions on Tuesday, and I kept the bankroll fairly intact. Maybe I was up $200, $250 after Tuesday. And then Wednesday morning, I was down $1,700. So between playing a couple sessions in the morning on the table, craps table, I decided to sit down at the blackjack table because they had 3 to 2 at $25, and that's hard to pass up because you don't find that too often. So I played there, gave them $500 there. So I had some work to do yesterday, You guys heard the stories of what happened yesterday. So I got all of that back yesterday, plus a little bit more. So that was good. I was going in today um, in a good position. Got to the table this morning. First roll of the dice. I was fortunate to roll them all, the ATS. So that kind of really gave me a nice boost for the day and allowed me to have a relatively decent bankroll to get through the day. And we'll probably talk about how we did this afternoon at Hollywood, but we gave a little bit back
Sure.
at Hollywood today.
Sure. No, I'll probably cover that tomorrow if we go live, and if not, I'll cover that when I get
Yeah.
home as well.
Okay.
Because tomorrow it's gonna be kind of time constraints, but I'm gonna do what you told me not to do here. Okay.
Okay.
I noticed a little bit of an accent coming from you. Okay, and we're gonna give you the trophy for the individual who drove the furthest.
Okay.
How long did it take you to drive, and where did you drive from?
Well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you how long it took me.
Okay.
Okay. Because that might be indicative
For
of
legal
that
reasons.
might be indicative of how fast I drove.
Okay.
Okay, so I drove about 140 all the way here.
Kilometers.
Kilometers, yes. No, it took me 8 hours, 8.5 hours. So
Okay.
yeah, no, it's not the first time I've done the drive. I've done the drive probably a dozen times because lived in the Chicago area for a number of years. Yeah.
Sure. For those of you who don't know, he's from our Northern Brotherhood of
Yes,
up in
yeah.
Canada.
I'm one of
Canada, eh?
probably one of a token handful of guys within the craps.
You're the only one from Canada that's legally able to come over down to the States, right? Sorry, Ben. Sorry. It's in the trunk. Yeah.
What do you mean geographically? He's further south than you are.
Yeah. Yeah. The other day I was.
I did give you some geography lessons the other
Yeah,
day.
just so you guys know, what happens in Juliet stays in Juliet, and I'm in Juliet right now. Okay, so the other day I had a history lesson, a geography lesson, and political lessons.
Yeah.
And I in Wisconsin actually live further north than
Yeah.
our Canadian brother here. So,
Yeah.
and he's not far north of New York. Up in
No,
upstate
no, I
New
just Toronto, so right at Lake Ontario, so very close to upper state New York and Buffalo area.
Sure. We got Born to Roll Dice that's checking in here. That's all the new ones that I see. Guys, if you're watching the chat, make sure you say hi. Make sure you post some questions here. Arnell, what's your story for the last day or so?
Ooh, yeah, I gotta say it's brutal. Because it's all about timing. Unfortunately, every time somebody hit the ATS, I wasn't at the table.
Yeah, that's tough.
So
I have another one.
That's my short story.
I have another one of my brothers. Is no longer with us here. This individual left within the last day or two, and they mentioned about how the timing of the rolls comes up. And we'll cover a little bit about this today. But our group has hit more than one full ATSs today alone, and I bet you the trip so far, the ATS has been hit by our group at least 7 or 8 times. I would say we're pretty close to that. And
Well, shout out to Yo Girl because
Yo Girl did
she
a bunch of them.
yeah,
Yes.
I mean, she had to leave to go to a wedding
Mhm.
in the Chicago area, but she just left not too long ago. But she rolled them all right after I did, so consecutively right.
And she also hit the 4-point fire bet a day or two.
Well, I don't know, but that's up for debate. None of us were at the table.
Getting out.
She knows I'm kidding. She did a great job.
But we're talking about time.
Like the
But
dealers.
these ATS hits that we've hit, I've only been present for one of them, and that was only the small. They were one number away, and I was just Seppi last night. We were one number away from getting it all.
Wait, you weren't there when I just wrote
Okay,
it and you were
here's
off the
again. Stays in Juliet, but this morning, and this is a topic for tomorrow, but a little precursor. We were down, and there was a full table of about 6 or 8 people before Alfredo. So I decided to go to the bathroom, and as soon as I go to the bathroom, everybody passes to Alfredo. And then there's a skinny guy in a white shirt that actually snuck in my spot. A story for tomorrow, guys. Anyhow, I know. Anything you would like to add? Anything else?
No, I mean it's great meeting up everybody. Like I said, I'm sure they'll all come back because I've been telling them come hit the Illinois casinos. for a long time because everybody's always going to Vegas and Atlantic City.
Sure.
Arnold's been
and there's-
a great host.
And there's crazy.
He has been, yeah.
Yeah,
And I
think
he's a great host.
and I
Oh, Joliet, right? The Harris, they have something that's special, right? They don't just have the regular bonus. They have something additional that you can have at the same time.
Oh yeah, well they're one of the few casinos that have the ATS and the fire bet.
And the fun.
Yep.
And I mean,
Together, yes. But
Yep.
both tables have it or
Yep.
just one?
Yep.
Yep.
both
Both
tables.
tables. Okay. Hey, in the chat, we got Marble Fork Bandit joined in. We also have Brian from White Crap Shooters. So we have the person that drove the furthest, and we had the viewer from the furthest. So welcome, Brian and Marble Fork. What's up for you next, Alfredo? You have stuff coming up in the future here.
Well, a couple of weeks, we're going to. Well, I'll be in Vegas before I go to Seattle, but Corey will be there in Seattle.
Yep.
I just want to say this guy has iron balls, right? Like,
Hey, this is the G-rated show here, buddy.
Hey, to take the kick in the nuts like he did the day one, and not only stick in and have the resolve to make it back, and I was there for the entire time to see it. It's difficult because you want to quit at some point because things continue to go bad, and sometimes you do to go take a session off, but to be able to be there, stick with your progressions, adjust slightly according to what's happening, and then to make it back and make into a profit. I mean, it's unbelievable to do that, but it goes to show that if you have some discipline, that if you have some decent strategies, and then of course a decent roll, you can definitely make it back. And we always say you're only one roll away from being able to be what big up, or
or
be able to
not
make it
feed
back.
your family.
That, which is a very true statement, but we are talking about the king of Friday nights right there, right?
Yeah,
No, that's a very true statement, Kevin.
he showed a very interesting bet today, and I gave him a little wrinkle that maybe he'll think about into the future, but it was working.
Yeah.
It was working for sure.
We have a question here for now. Blacklight is asking how you're doing on the high-low. How are you doing on hitting the high-low?
Oh, the high low.
Yeah.
Oh, because I usually leave like the bookends.
Yeah.
Usually I don't have a problem with those, but this trip I've actually been rolling pretty bad. It might be because all these good shooters came to town, and then I let them I want them to shoot that, and I was actually shooting out of position starting out, so that what might have been part of it. But it's all good. We'll keep playing. Fight
Sure.
back.
Sure. Ron from California Craps Club here has asked a question, and I'm going to direct it towards Corey because Corey actually has the sort of planned out for us a little bit here. But his question is, what are the plans for tonight?
Oh, plans for tonight. We've got, we're having dinner at the steakhouse. Probably wait. I think they're supposed to be opening a second table tonight, so I'm sure we'll find some time
That's
at the
the rumor.
table.
Yeah.
But that I don't know if that'll be before or after dinner, but we've been hitting the tables pretty late doing overnights, once the regulars are clearing out. When we've had an opportunity to have most of us on the table, we've been doing a really good job of getting the dice to the people who are shooting well and stepping out when you're not. And this afternoon wasn't a great example because I don't think any of us were shooting well this afternoon. But
Alfredo had some decent rolls, but again, we'll get into that
Until I
as we
did.
go on that.
well, yeah. Again, in general, this afternoon we weren't shooting well, and the nice thing is that we've got enough good shooters here that even when you're in a funk, you'll come out of it. So in a session, if you're not doing well, we're just doing a good job of getting the dice back to the people who are shooting well, and it certainly helps out when you do that, and it doesn't let the hot shooter get cold while waiting for the dice to come back.
So my question to whoever wants to answer this, in the past I've heard of group get-togethers where people go to just visit and they have fun at the craps table and this and that. But then I hear of other groups that get together and they're strictly business. There's no socializing at the table. Where do we fall in this? Who wants to answer this?
Well, I think that we're a good combination of both.
In between.
Yeah.
Right in
I think, when we're at the table, we're there because that's what we're there to do and that's what we want to do. And
We're still having fun at the table.
And we're still having fun at the table and having a good time with with the crew. And then we're doing stuff like this, and we got dinner tonight, and we've been hanging out. So I think it's been a really good combination of both.
Okay.
It definitely is a combination of both because I even gave you shit for chatting with the dealers who were shooting, which I wouldn't do personally because I try to
I won't
stay
either.
focused. But for you, that is an actually coping mechanism that allows you to focus, right? And so everyone's different, and I think like you said, getting your position, I think we all have realized is key because I even shot from the end, shot well once, then came back around, didn't shoot quite as well as I did, and it could be a very false thing where someone's like, oh well, he did really well there the last time, and they load up and then they lose a lot because they thought that that was the normal position, right?
Sure.
And yeah.
I have a question for myself coming up, but we have a question here from Ron from California Craps Club. He's asking for Corey. Are you playing from the DP?
Um, that's a good question. I'm picking my spots. I am playing from the DP. Primarily, I'm playing the Horseman or a variation of the Horseman on shooters that I don't know or don't trust. Um, Doing some kind of hybrid. Not doing my Friday night fight strategy. I haven't pulled that one out yet, but I'm considering it on some of the locals on a more full table. But I'm primarily light side, a version of the Skill 66 on steroids.
A little bit.
on, on nuclear
In
steroids.
case his wife is watching this, he's doing the Skill 66, which is 66 inside.
With the 4 and 10 and yeah.
$4 and $10, that is.
So yeah, a 2-hit regression strategy to get out of the hand and press from there. So yeah, that's primarily what I'm doing on the known shooters that I have faith in or are in their spots and I trust it. Even good shooters out of their spots, I'm still not committing that kind of bankroll to
Sure.
those shooters.
This question's coming up from me. This is not asking a chat. How do you manage bankroll at a get together like this? Because it's so easy, guys, to go there, get to the casino, drop your luggage, right, Alfredo, and run to the craps. Hey, what stays in Juliet happens in Juliet stays in Juliet. But how do you guys manage your bankrolls?
I'm going to jump on that.
How can you make sure that your bankroll lasts from the day you walk in until 5 days later when a lot of us are leaving?
I'm going to jump on that. Vince told me you just take another marker. Take another marker.
Move to your brethren.
uh, um, Observationally, you came in, basically envelopes an amount for each session, number of sessions per day, and it just an outstanding discipline in doing that.
If I don't do that.
And I asked him yesterday in the car on the way back. Well, now that you won on this session, do you have that bankroll now to go on to the next day or the last day? And he's like, no, I've got a set bankroll. So that's again, the discipline that he's got. And again, yeah, for me, I've got a bankroll I'm willing to play with, and I've been playing with profits once I got to profits, and had a couple of nice profit on profit wins, and that
was my envelope,
yeah,
guys.
there we go.
And Corey is actually
Pass them up
true.
to us.
No, this is guys. This is my envelope from yesterday with all my winnings. And look at it's sealed. I can't even get at to it if I go on to this.
I got scissors and a knife.
Listen, and how much does it say on
You
there?
can't crack into the biggie.
Hey, did I ever mention that my level up program advertises that I'm a 3rd-degree black belt?
Oh, I was just
true.
gonna open the
It is
envelope
true.
for you.
So,
So Joe, I follow the same disciplines as you do. I have bankroll associated with what I want to gamble per session. So I've got 2 untouched bankrolls. I've got one that is kind of a floating bankroll, and then I got the profit session. So
Wait
hopefully
a second.
we don't have to break into that.
You're starting to look like DGE right now with all this cash. Like, Charlie, come on, are you here? Is this Charlie?
And this is about 30% greater when I take it home.
Thank goodness for a strong American dollar.
Yeah.
I leave it in US. I play so much in the US. I don't do conversions. But yeah, that's a good discipline, Joe. Proud of you for that. Yeah.
I'm not looking for prompts. I'm just curious because every one of us, for the most part, have had a different or a similar but slightly different approach.
I pump the brakes. I just don't keep on buying in. Like you saw today, several of you rebought in. I still had 600 in my rack.
Yeah, but I bought in for $200. You bought in for a little bit more.
Because I buy in to the number of shooters that I say, right? Like
Okay.
10 shooters, right? And you
Sure.
can't risk that. You can't buy in for 300 and say that's going to last 10 shooters, right? If you think it is, then you better be playing very disciplined and coming down or something like that. And so, yeah, pump the brakes. Make sure that you stick to the buy-ins and to the what you're gonna put in for the day. For me, it's usually 1,500 to 2,000 is what I'm willing to risk on any given day. And once I've locked away profits, they're locked away.
Okay. Very good. Very good strategy.
Nice.
So, anybody wants to add here? Any questions you have for each other here, or me, or the guy who's too chicken to come on camera? We have a guy named Craig who is kind of a.
Oh, you can
go ahead.
put a lot of money on the table.
Oh, hey,
It's not chicken.
speaking of Charlie DGE, that's our Charlie DGE right here.
Any questions anybody has of anybody on the panel here amongst each other?
How long have you guys known each other?
That's a great question. This is something, guys, that has been asked of us several times over the trip by people that are not in our group that we've told that we're here as a group. And the first question is, oh yeah, where are you from? And when we say Canada, New York, Seattle, Illinois, Wisconsin,
Texas.
Indiana, Texas, and they're like, wow, how'd you guys all meet? And your answer was, how do we all meet? We are all part of
We're all part of a nation.
Craps Nation.
Yeah.
190 members big. And the question I heard of Kevin was, oh, you're all here? All 190 of you guys? Remember that? The person asked that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She thought it was like a big trade show or something. No, I think, and that's the beauty of this, right? And the beauty of having a network of groups of people that have a common interest, like playing the game of craps. The beauty is like within your community, if you've got that many people, as long as you want to put it out there and let people know where you're going or what you're doing, there's a high probability that there's going to be someone in a local area that's willing to meet up with you, or someone who's going to travel to you. I've been at multiple meetups in Vegas and now in Illinois, and I'm looking forward to doing a few more. And we were talking about maybe Biloxi or something like that. But
Sure.
as long as you put it out there, you're always going to have people that are going to want to show up and play with you. Yeah.
Sure. And I'm going to speak hopefully for everybody because this is the way I feel for myself. I first of all met Arnell and Alfredo before this trip, and Corey one other time. Okay, but Kevin, first time I met him, came up, gave me a handshake and a hug, and it's like we're friends. We've talked over chat, or some through text messaging, some through the phone, some on other people's live streams. And it's amazing when you walk through that door and you see that person for the first time. It's like you've known each other for years. To me, that's just remarkable. It really is. And from a trip perspective, guys, yeah, this is about playing craps, but this is about telling the stories, having fun. I told the guys we went to a different casino for a while today, and I told everybody that my face is gonna hurt by the end of tomorrow because I've been laughing and smiling so much.
I think we all have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, some of the stories that come out of ourselves and the ribbings that we give each other. You know, Corey, no, I'm not gonna say what.
Yeah, so yeah, happens in Joliet stays in Joliet.
We're in Juliet right now.
They're not.
Marble Fork, I am really not going to answer that question, but if you need an answer, make sure you get a hold of Magic Aces. He might have an answer for you on that
It
one.
was great to meet him. He had to leave earlier today or last night, and it was really great to meet him.
The next question's pretty good.
Yeah, the next question comes from Ron at California Craps Club. He goes, "Are you getting the tier credits you expected?"
That's a great question.
And then we're going to have a variety of different answers.
I'm
It'll take
quite,
time.
I'm
but
not quite sure about that. Like, for the amount of play that I'm giving, you don't see the multiplier yet because
It takes
we
2
knew
weeks, they told us.
we
2
knew in
weeks.
advance that it was
Yeah.
going to take a period of time.
Right. And 4,400 is the target to max out the 10x multiplier. 4,400 will get you the next 36,000. So, just because of the way it works, you don't get 10x added on, you get 9x added on because
Right.
one of it is the one you're earning. So if you're trying to max it out, your goal needs to be to earn 4,400. And to be honest, we haven't had enough time on these tables because they've only had one table open, and that's been a little disappointing. So those of us that are still here, we've got a chance to earn those in the next 2 days while they still got it going on. I'm about halfway there to max.
You were almost at max when we got here anyhow, so.
Oh
When
well,
does it get next?
yeah. I don't need the points.
What I'm working on is Corey sharing his points over for us to bring us up. But you know, hey Frida, how you doing? Welcome to Level Up. You see, you're
Well,
So
I was going to say, like, that, from my perspective, that was a partial reason to come here,
Uh-huh.
is to take advantage of a multiplier, and I really wasn't sure how it was going to pan out, and we'll see at the end of 2 weeks when it all comes back.
sure, sure.
But ultimately, I came here to have time on the table and win some money. I'll take winning money over tier credits any day of the week, so
Mhm.
that's just kind of an added bonus.
And credits doesn't earn or mean much to me because this is the only property that I play at that's actually a corporate. Normally, I am at Native American properties up in Green Bay area and that. How have you found the stuff to work for you or not so far?
I mean, I haven't played as much as you guys this trip, so I mean, I'll probably still meet my goal to actually, get like Diamond Plus or something like that. But you know, and that's actually no, I've been to Elite, but I don't think I'll reach that with my play
And
this week.
you've been pulled away from us a little bit because you had prior family arrangements. His wife turned another year older.
Oh,
This weekend.
Coming up this weekend?
my
or is it
wife's
coming up?
weekend, so
Yeah, so obviously, guys, craps and our craps family is very important, but our real families are more important. So props to
Oh,
you for doing
yeah,
that.
all these guys wanted to go
Thank you to your
swim
wife.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
down.
Yeah. Thank you for your wife for turning us down. Now, what was that, Alfredo?
We had breakfast with his wife this morning.
Yes, it was.
Oh,
It was wonderful.
Great meeting her, and maybe next time we can have a crash at your pad just to have a real table and
LFC, yeah.
real table LFC.
Good practice session.
Yeah. Next time.
Sure. Any other questions for each other on the panel here, guys?
You said it was 3,600 is all that we need to get for your credit?
4,400.
Like
4,400.
1,000 just from this one, from that one two.
Yeah, I was just looking. It looks like
So
I got about
we will
100.
We will
And
we will get there.
and
'Cause I know I'm gonna get there because I know I'm gonna be at the table and putting in some time.
as
so.
as Joe mentioned, I realized that he was about to shoot and jumped on the table. Played for one shooter, he hit the all, and I jumped off and cashed out, and it was a pure profit play from last night.
Timing.
And yeah, timing. So it was, and then whatever I've done today has been off of those profits. So it was a little freeing to be able to play and not worry too much about what happened with that money, but.
I think the 10 times bonus was huge, but we had met up last year, right? And I think maybe future years we'll have multiple meetups throughout the year. I already talked to Corey and Arnell. I'm probably going to fly up here at least 4 times a year, maybe or so. And it'll be probably on weekends just to come in and play with people that I know and hopefully have a good time. And we've even talked about some other stuff.
Yeah,
potentially.
I think only one person flew in,
Yeah.
other than you. I think everybody else drove.
Sure.
So I
Yeah.
mean, the people at this thing that are within driving range,
Oh yeah.
if they know in advance, people will take the time and come on out.
Fuzzy came
Yeah.
in. You know,
Fuzzy, yeah.
He did quite
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
Right. And so funny story is he's like, I'm not even going to try to touch the dice with everyone that's even here. He just passed it exclusively.
And I've done a lot of passing. But
Yeah,
I've
I passed it yesterday several times over to Corey. I'm like,
He did.
and I'm not even going to try to touch the dice if I'm shooting.
Go
back
to the
from this
hot shooter.
position.
That's
Go to
the,
them.
yeah.
Sure, and I'll cover during the week with the level of sessions how my shooting went, guys. And I'll share that information. And if anybody's watching on my chats when I'm doing this, and they need to correct my story, which it does not need to be
I'm gonna
corrected, trust me.
correct your
But if it needs to be corrected, you know,
Your
at
story
that
is your
time,
story, whether it's true or not. It's your story.
Everybody's got a story.
But you know, hey guys, I'm gonna try to do this again tomorrow, time permitting. Tomorrow is my last day down here in Illinois. I'll be making a trip either to do some family time or headed back home and meet up with the rest of the family. So, but anyhow, until tomorrow or Monday, my name is Joe. This is my Crapsmaster dice shooting journey. Let's make it ours too.
Have a good one, guys.